Hello to the Facebook Live. Looks like everything's up and running. So we're waiting on the start of the game plan. You're on the behind the scenes view. Yeah, you'll get to talk to me during our commercial breaks and give live feedback. I'll see your questions as they pop up. So thank you to everybody who tunes in preemptively. I'm looking forward to this. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try, I'll put it down for now, but I'm going to try to put the phone and the rest of the speakers up about right here so everybody that tunes in on Facebook can see. But this is the first time I've done this, so if it's a little rough, forgive me. Oh, we're sliding. Okay, there we go, just like that. Okay, stay. We are going to try to make this last over an hour. We're really just going to go as long as my phone battery allows us. If we have to end the live early so I can get back on the Zoom call, we will, which will be unfortunate, but it is what it is. But I hope it'll be fun, no matter what. We got to talk about the NBA draft. We're going to talk about some MLB. I've got some guests we're going to have on. And then obviously anybody watching on Facebook Live can ask questions as we go along. So. And of course, this is live on Live 365, the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. So tune in there as well. Now let's see here. We should be about ready to get going. There it is. Woo, yay. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the game plan. This is Luke Young coming to you live, not from the studio this time, but from La Huasteca down in Bethany, Oklahoma. Well, we've got a fun, very fun show planned today. I've got a couple special guests we're going to have on. We're going to talk NBA with the draft. We're going to talk MLB a little bit. And we're just going to cover all the things everybody want to hear about in modern sports. But before we get started and I introduce my guests, I got to tell you a little bit more about La Huasteca. This is at 1621 North MacArthur Boulevard, of course, here in Bethany. You can call them at 405-541-9009. And if you do find America's Neighborhood Values, our advertisement publication, you'll find a 20% off all day on Tuesday coupon in there that you can use on your own visit. La Huasteca is somewhere we've been a couple of times, and it's always good to return and visit. Again, this is 1621 North MacArthur Boulevard. They're open 9 to 10 almost every day, so stop by if you get the chance. And you can call them at 405-541-9009. But again, thank you and welcome once again to the game plan. My special guest today is a good friend of mine, someone I've been a teammate with, and one of the biggest Oklahoma City Thunder fans I know. So we're going to get his opinion on a couple of things regarding this Thunder championship run shortly, and I hope everybody will enjoy it as much as I know I will. So officially, welcome to the show, Mr. Connor O'Malley.
What is up, Luke? I was expecting you to ring a bell right there, but didn't hear it, but that's okay.
I don't have a bell. I've got some like plants around me, but I'm not sure that's going to sound on the show very well.
Yeah, no worries. But no, super excited to be here. Been sitting at the desk all day looking at numbers, so very, very excited to get on here and chat some sports.
So you are very prepared is what I'm hearing.
Pretty much.
All right, you might give me a run for my money, knowing how much you know about basketball.
Oh, yeah, right.
So Connor, I just said it, but you're one of the biggest super fans I know, and I'm pretty sure I saw you had some pictures at the finals, right?
No, I didn't get to go to any finals games, unfortunately, but I did go to game 1 of the Denver series where Aaron Gordon hit that game winner. We were up the entire game.
Right.
Aaron Gordon hit that game winner, and all of the air just came out of the stadium at once. It was pretty heartbreaking, but
I saw you had like a picture with Holmgren, so I thought you might have been there. I wouldn't have been surprised.
No, that game, that was his, well, technically his rookie year, the year that he sat out on time.
Oh, okay.
And that was, yeah, if you look at closely at that picture, he's wearing a boot still. So that was just before the game, whenever he was warming up. But yeah, that was taken in like, I want to say 2022.
Well, there you go, folks. You just found out how big of a fan Connor is. If he was getting pictures with Holmgren in 22 while he was still injured.
Yeah, and while the team was also terrible. While we were the black hole of the NBA.
Right, the black hole. By the way, absolutely goated quote on the ceremony right there. Black hole of the NBA, now we're champs. I mean, you can't write it any better.
Aaron Wiggins, yeah, the guy who saved basketball. He had a fire quote right there.
It really was. I mean, I can only imagine what it must have been like to have been there, right?
Oh my goodness, I wish. I really want to go to the parade. That was a deal I made with my wife. I was like, whenever they win next year, like I get to go to the parade. I got her to agree. So,
Nice.
yeah, crossing my fingers. But I definitely think we have a chance to be, very competitive and, hopefully win a few more here in the next handful of years. So,
You think they might go back to back on them?
I mean, they've got a chance. I don't want to jinx anything, but the entire team is under contract for next year as well. And we just drafted the good center last night from Georgetown.
Right.
It looks pretty, looks pretty good. And yeah, I definitely think that we've got a chance.
Yeah, and we will, of course, talk about him a little bit on the show too, along with a couple of the other draft picks. But Connor, before we get into the meat of this, if you'd like, tell the people a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what college was like for you, and what you're up to now.
For sure, yeah. So I was born in Tulsa, lived there like my entire life. I went to Booker T. Washington High School in Tulsa. I was raised in church, gave my life to the Lord. When I was like 9 years old, I got
Yes, sir.
baptized in summer camp.
Yes, sir.
And was re-baptized in high school. So yeah, faith, as much as I love sports, faith and just my relationship with God and just the whole message of the gospel is definitely the most important thing in my life. So yeah, went to Booker T, got a scholarship to play baseball at Colorado State College, which is a JUCO in Warner. Spent 2 years there and then was really burned out with baseball. So was really thinking that I wanted to be done. So I went to Oral Roberts University in Tulsa for 1 year, just as a student. I took a year off of baseball, and then through that year, I realized that I really missed it. So went back, reached out to Coach Blackwell at SCU, and he was lucky enough to give me a roster spot, and really just fell in love with the game again. And played there for 3 years, finished up my bachelor's, and also finished up my master's there. And I am currently married. I got married in September of 2024, so we're going on just over, no, we just passed the 9-month mark of marriage, and just living here in Dallas and working in hotel revenue management. So,
Dude, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you on that milestone.
thank you. Yeah, just a little bit of everything. So just trying to figure it all out though.
Yes, sir.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, and it's good to hear about how steady you are in the faith. And obviously the gospel station, that's a big part of what we're doing here and part of the message. So, yeah, it's good to hear people who have had those stories, who are so firm in the foundation of the faith and can help other people get there. You and me both got baptized very young. So I knew this about you already, so I was kind of cheating there, but I knew you'd be a good guest for that as well.
Appreciate that. Yeah, happy to be here.
But we met in college, for everybody listening. You were, what, a junior when I got there?
Yeah, we both got there at the same time, but yeah, you were fresh out of high school, I believe, and for me it was actually funny enough, my 4th year of college, technically. So yeah, I was on my 4th year of school, which I spent 6 years of school total to get a master's. But yeah, my 4th year of school when I was finishing up my bachelor's was whenever we, joined the team together.
Right, and those were some of the best years I had in college. I still have plenty of memories from like those first few semesters and how much fun those were.
Oh, me too. Yeah, me too. It was a blast. The entire 3 years I was there was a blast.
And you got to move back down to Dallas, but now I'm staying up here in the city doing this, obviously. So I'm still, hanging around Bethany, hanging around SCU. I didn't move on, I guess.
Nice. Yeah. Well,
I did not know that. Congratulations to him.
Yeah, he's an outfielder, so yeah, he's going to be on the team next year.
So he's going to get Jake Cox as his coach, is what I'm hearing.
That's, I guess. I heard that through the grapevine also.
Yep. No, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure he'll do really well.
Right.
But,
I agree.
well, there you go, folks. That's a player we're going to keep up on the Gospel Station a little bit more coming into next year. So, another O'Malley in the business. How about that?
That's right. I'm excited.
All right, Connor. Well, we are about through the halfway point of our first segment, so we're going to start talking about some of the meat of the show today. Let's talk about this NBA draft. Did it surprise you at all that Cooper Flagg went number 1 to the Mavs?
No, definitely not. Definitely not at all. And I mean, honestly, the big headline is just how rigged the whole NBA is. That the Mavs were able to get that first pick. That was absolutely, most definitely an under the table deal from Adam Silver and Nico Harrison. It was, hey, you trade Luka to a big market team. NBA ratings are way down. That's really going to generate some viewings, and you are going to win the lottery, and you'll be able to draft Cooper Flagg. And also, I'll give you Anthony Davis as well. That was absolutely, nobody can convince me that didn't happen, and it wasn't completely staged.
I was going to save the rig talk and the staged accusations for later in the show, but let's get into it now since we brought it up. That is so funny you went there immediately.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, they're going to take him no matter what. But yeah, it's definitely, they had a 1.8% chance to get it. There is no chance at that. There is no chance that was real.
And they're doing it behind closed doors now anyways. Right, it's not open to the public anymore.
Exactly, 100%. What they need to do is have an actual, like when you play bingo and they spin the wheel of all those balls. That's what they need to do on live TV to make sure that it's. But they're not going to do that because it's all fixed. But
I believe it. Okay, but so there's Flagg number 1 to the Mavs. He's going to be a complete game changer. Going to be the face of the league in a couple years' time. Everybody's saying. Now, there are a couple of the other players that went really high were notable. One of the ones I wanted to talk about came out of Oklahoma, and that was Jeremiah Fears going to the Pelicans. So, sorry, go ahead.
oh yeah, Fears. Yeah, I definitely watched. I don't follow college basketball as much as I should, but I know Fears just because of the OU. I know who he is. Excuse me. So yeah, I think I saw it yesterday, and it says I can't remember what year. Like since 2000, I can't remember what year Blake Griffin got drafted, but since 2000, he was the 4th player to go in the lottery from OU. It was Blake Griffin, Buddy Hield, Trae Young, and now him. So yeah, heading over to New Orleans, he definitely is a promising player. Just watching him in the tournament against UConn. I think he has really good handles. He does really, really well at getting to the rim. Obviously, he's still young, so his shot is going to continue to improve. And so, yeah, a lot of upside there. And I think the Pelicans reached for him a little bit. I think he was projected like the 10th or 11th pick, and I think they took him at 7. So, yeah, they reached for him a little bit. They see the upside, but I definitely think he has all the makings to be a really good player. So, I'm excited to see how his career all unfolds, and hopefully he can win Rookie of the Year next year.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I agree with you on the upside there because, yeah, he had a great year at OU. Now, he led the team in points per game, assists per game, steals per game, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, maybe reaching for him isn't that much of a reach in the end because I think they see the upside, especially because that team is still dealing with, like, the Williamson news and all that drama, and they're trying to build up a young core behind that for when it all finally passes, maybe eventually.
I'm not a huge fan of Zion anymore. He obviously looks like, the best thing since sliced bread coming out of college, but I don't know. I just feel like he's, a little lazy and doesn't really take conditioning seriously, and then his body's falling apart because of it.
Right.
So I'm not a fan of him. I think that New Orleans made a huge mistake in signing him. No big deal. But I guess time will tell. So they just traded Brandon Ingram to the Raptors.
I agree with you there. You know, back in college, he was more. I mean, he led OU in points per game and all that, but he was also pretty tough on the defensive side. He was second, or I mean, let me see if I get this right, because he was a guard, right? No, forward. Point guard. Yeah, I'm right. I'm getting my players mixed up already. That's how professional I am on this show, Connor. Yeah, but I like that pick because it gives them more flexibility, right, around the perimeter. And, you know, what you just said about him getting more and more touches as time goes on is exactly what they need out of a young core who maybe they can build around if they don't figure out what's happening in the present day. So I don't have a problem with him going number 7 at all, and not just for OU's sake, but I actually do think that is a pretty good pick for the Pelicans. Now, we're about to head to break, and we'll talk a little bit more about the draft when we return. But I'll remind you again, the game plan is coming to you live from La Huasteca Market down on 1621 North MacArthur Boulevard in Oklahoma City. You can call them at 405-541-9009. And look for their ad in America's Neighborhood Values. There's a 20% off all day on Tuesday coupon if you can get it. We'll send it to a break here on the game plan. Connor O'Malley back for segment 2 after this. All right, well, I hope that sounded pretty good on Facebook Live. I'm enjoying this already. Connor's a great guest, but I knew he would be. Again, if you have any thoughts, any takes, any questions, send them in the chat. I'll see them as they pop up, and I can talk to you here as well. It doesn't have to be just radio. This is, I can show it there, I think it's backwards, but that is the ad for La Huasteca. You can see the 20% off coupon. Find it in America's Neighborhood Values. I promise you, you won't regret it. See, the iPad's at 37, my phone's at 27. It's going to be close. It's going to be close if these last. It's unfortunately not a power outlet in here anymore. We'll talk a little bit about who Oklahoma City drafted, I think. They got Thomas Sorber out of Georgetown. This is who I was thinking about, a good defensive player that I wanted to talk about next. Because I think this actually says a lot about OKC's continued success and that they're not getting away at all from what seems to be their strategy in the draft. So we'll talk about that a little bit when we come back. You can't see much of the store on Facebook, but you can see Caps back there. I'm in the eating area, the restaurant part. So it's actually a very nice atmosphere in here. It's apparently going to rain outside. It's kind of empty right now. Because everybody don't want to be caught out in the rain. Okay, here we go. We're coming back.
Job sites aren't never a problem. They can also plan, manage, and build multi-phase jobs. We are a turnkey plumbing, electrical, HVAC, and mechanical contractor. Take your company. Give them a call at 405-255-7804. Again, that's 405-255-7804. Tinko.
And welcome back to the game plan. We're here on segment 2. Luke Young out at La Huasteca. Connor O'Malley calling in from Dallas as a special guest. And of course, Mike Gannon in the studio, who we always appreciate. Well, coming back from this break, we're at La Huasteca in Oklahoma City, 1621 North MacArthur Boulevard. If you stop in, you'll find me here in the dining area. You can stop by and say hi, and maybe I'll get your opinion on whatever we're talking about on the show while you're here. But it's actually apparently supposed to rain outside, Connor. I don't know what the weather is like in Dallas right now, but I didn't think we were going to be getting any more rain until like August.
Gotcha, yeah. It rained a little bit yesterday, but it's like sunny and low 90s, which actually isn't terrible for Dallas. So,
No, not for Dallas, no.
yeah, I'll take it. But yeah, no rain today.
It's been pretty much 90s, mid-90s maybe at max throughout OKC this week. But it's like substantially cooled off. I almost can't believe it. Yeah, but let's get back into the draft talk. We're going to talk about who the Thunder drafted next, okay? So, Thomas Sorber, you mentioned him out of Georgetown.
Yeah, I don't know a ton about him. Like I said, my college basketball knowledge is a little bit limited, but just from reading all the stuff, since last night, ever since he got drafted, I don't know if this is true or not, but I read he's 6'10" with like a 7'5" wingspan. I don't know if that's true.
I didn't think that was true. I might have to go back and look that up now.
Just from like the little highlights that I've watched of him, he looks really solid. Looks like a solid defender, and he can actually shoot a little bit too. So he's a big man. And there were some highlights of him making threes and even some mid-range shots and stuff too. So I think there's a lot of upside there as well. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the Thunder roster, whether they get rid of the other Jalen Williams, or if they're just going to hold on, give him a two-way deal until Hartenstein's deal is up, because Hartenstein has a team option after next year, so they may decline his option if they think that he's ready to go.
Right.
But that'll be interesting to see what happens there too. But I think he looks promising just from the little bit that the little highlight tape that I saw of him, and yeah, I'm excited. I was literally like, not to sound cocky or anything, but I was literally sitting there last night. Whenever the Thunder were about to pick, I was like, I don't even really we don't really need anything. What do we need to pick? I was like, maybe some shooting, like maybe a spot up shooter or something. But they ended up taking another big man, which we'll see how that pans out. But super excited. He seems like a really nice player. So
Yeah, Sorber ranked second in the Big East in rebounds and blocks per game last year. He was second in points per game, first in rebounds per game, blocks per game, and field goal percentage at Georgetown. So this is a dude. This is a player. Yeah.
You're not going to get drafted 15 overall if you're not a player. But the whole wingspan
Good point.
thing, I don't know if that was. I read he was 6'10" with like a 7'4" wingspan or something like that. Now if that's true or not, I may have read that on NBA Centel. But that's interesting. I need to look more into it.
Yeah, we're going to have to figure this out in the next break. So, the thing that interested me the most about this pick is not the player per se, but what this means for the Thunder strategy going forward. Because you just mentioned Hartenstein's contract, and we know Holmgren can at times be subject to injury. Getting another bigger player, someone who's probably going to be more defensively minded when he enters the league, when he starts playing, kind of shows that it tells me that the Thunder aren't going to leave the game plan that got them a championship so quick. Right, they're still going to focus heavy on defense. They're still going to, put a lot of value in the pressure in the paint and those bodies, which makes me very confident again going forward in this team. I doubt he'll play that much over the guys they've got right now if this team doesn't get drastically shook up. But that's just my immediate thoughts on it. It's like this is the Thunder saying we got something that works, and we're going to keep running with it until the rest of the league figures out how to beat it.
Yep, I completely agree with that. Yeah, it'll be really interesting. So, JML, I think he's really good energy to the team. I really like him, but I don't necessarily know how long they will keep him around, or if he's, capable of being a starting center. Maybe he's drunk, maybe he is, but I think that, and yeah, also, like I said, Hartenstein signed, he has his next year under contract, and then the following year is a team option. So if we think that Sorber, is it Sorber or Sorber? What's his last name?
I think it's Sorber. I think is how you say it.
That's right, yeah. So if they think that Sorber's ready to go, then they can go ahead and decline that option and then, hand the keys to Sorber a little bit. But I think that Chad's here to stay. I think that Chad will get a max, and, having another solid big man, because the year before when we lost to the Mavs, that was kind of what we were lacking, is that big rebounder. So we went out and got Hartenstein.
Right.
So yeah, I think it'll be really interesting, but I completely agree with what you said. I think it's the right strategy, and he's that guy that can fit next to Chet long term.
All right, see, that's a pretty good take from the man right there. That's why we got you on the show right there. Now, but that wasn't the Thunder's only pick in the first round, was it? They drafted Nick Clifford, but they traded him to the Kings.
Right, yeah, it was one of those we traded into the Kings for a future pick, which makes sense because I read it this morning that we didn't even have roster space for another player at all. So we had to cut some money, and it also works with the salaries because if you draft in the first round, you get like a guaranteed however much money, and so we just went ahead and moved that pick, which was I think the smart move for right now.
Yeah, I mean, when you've got that many first-round picks after just winning the championship, it does kind of get hard to figure out what to do with all of them.
Right, it's a good problem to have, though.
Yeah, so I'm looking through the draft order here. In the second round, Oklahoma City drafts at pick number 44, right after the Jazz and right before the Bulls. They've got a couple notable teams before them again, like you see the Timberwolves draft first in the second round. The Celtics are right there. So we'll see, what kind of players fall to the next round, because you never know who's going to fall that far, right? Who's going to be the sleeper pick. I mean, take Caruso and his story, right? Yeah. So I think the second round will be very interesting. I'm going to be keeping up with it again personally. But there are a lot of really fun picks this year. Obviously, that top 10 is insane in this draft class. Flag and Harper and Edgecombe, it keeps going. But I think that's about all we have to say as far as the drafting goes right now. Would you say so, Connor?
For sure, yeah.
All right, well, keep looking forward to the second round. To everybody listening, I'm sure there will be some news coming out of that one before too long. I actually was I was caught off guard. I didn't realize the NBA draft started so soon after the end of the finals. But I kept up with all the trade news, but the NBA draft kind of caught me off guard a little bit. Speaking of, have you been reading all the trades that have been going through? Been keeping up with that any?
I have, yeah. I'm really confused about Boston. It feels like they're almost starting to blow it up, which you're a Celtics fan, aren't you?
I am.
Okay, so I don't really understand. You trade Porzingis for George Niang. You trade Drew Holiday, who's, a glue guy, for, what's the kid's name from Portland?
Let me go find it. I'll go pull up the full draft.
Anthony Simons.
Yeah.
Or Anthony Simmons, yeah. You trade their glue guy, so those are two big pieces for two, I don't know, kind of just unknowns. So I'm just curious as to, I don't really understand it. It feels like they're not far out from, they just won a title 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So obviously I don't know what's going on internally there, but it just feels, I'm just scratching my head. I'm like, what are they doing?
Well, my friend, this is unfortunately a byproduct of the salary cap.
Right.
This is a luxury tax issue, and I don't think anybody really wanted Porzingis to go, wanted Holiday to go. They're just the natural effect of being that far over the limit. They have to offload contracts. They don't have a choice. So, Porzingis, kind of like Holmgren, he's a great player, but he also has had his injury moments. So, but they can still get a lot for him right now, and I think they did in Niang and a pick, which I think the picks are right now pretty important for the Celtics. But yeah, they're not blowing it up, but it is going to get shaken up. Just that's the NBA right now, right?
Gotcha, yeah, and I heard they're also taking calls for Jaylen Brown and Derek White as well. So we'll see how that continues to unfold.
That will be a little bit more interesting, I think, is who they shop around like that. Because I thought Pritchard might be one who gets shopped around. I thought teams might pretty heavily go after Payton as a really versatile player on the shorter side, but has a half-court shot that he knocks down really consistently. So I thought he might be someone the Celtics end up getting rid of, but it just stands to see, right? Only time will tell.
Right, yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely see. They still might. So a lot of time left in the offseason.
Now, before we go to break, I got to mention this, because you said you weren't at the finals, but there in that last game, Lou Dort knocked down what was basically a half-court shot. And I thought I saw a little bit of O'Malley in that.
Yeah, right.
Are you sure you didn't teach him how to shoot in between like that game 3 and game 4 or something?
I wish. That was not me,
I mean, that's the strategy, right? That's how it gets done.
Exactly.
No.
So right at the end of the shot clock too, so that was perfect.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Connor has, of course, been at many Thunder games, and he has actually been down to half court to take the half court shot. And you've made it twice, 3 times?
Oh, heck no, just once.
I thought you made it twice. Man,
No, I wish.
I knew you had at least attempted it twice, right?
Yeah, but I've only made it once.
Made it once. Still way more than most people. Sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it's still pretty cool, but it was definitely all mine.
Don't say that. Don't say that. We know they were taking notes on the sideline right there. It's like, who's this kid? How'd he do that? We can use that in the finals in a couple of years. All right, let's take it to a break. Where this is the game plan coming to you live from La Huasteca down at 1621 North MacArthur Boulevard here in Oklahoma City. I've got Connor O'Malley on as a special guest, and when we get back from the break, we're going to talk a little bit more about that NBA championship run, I think, and what some of Connor's favorite moments were from it.
Staples Plumbing is your locally owned full-service licensed and bonded plumbing company, proudly serving the Oklahoma City metro for over 30 years. Stans provides all types of plumbing services like faucet and toilet repairs, sewer repair, and trenchless pipe replacement, water heater repair and installation.
Good show so far.
Plus drain cleaning and jetting. All plumbers arrive with fully stocked trucks and can resolve your plumbing problems in a timely manner. Since 1988, Stans Plumbing has held itself to a higher standard in plumbing. Call 405-721-5100 to schedule your appointment. Stans Plumbing Valley Service and attorney business 405-721-5100. John Campbell is your local health market agent that specializes in Medicare. Instead of talking through an 800 number, talk face to face with your local agent, John Campbell, to answer all your questions and find the company that best fits your needs. John Campbell Health Market serves you.
Well, all right. Well, thank you to everybody still here, still watching. It's been a lot of fun so far. Connor's obviously great. If you know about that kid, about Sorber, and if he has a 10-foot, whatever he said, wingspan, please let me know, because I had not heard that before. I thought there is no way that can be true. But if I'm wrong, and if he really is, let me know, because I did not know that. Yeah, we're on Facebook Live doing the game plan. La Huasteca, obviously. I'm in the dining area. We got a little bit of the shop back there, sombreros and hats and stuff. I'm really debating going and picking up a cowboy hat, because, you know, I've got the cowboy tie on. There's Aikman there. Thought it fitting for doing a Facebook Live show today. But I could use a cowboy hat. I don't have a cowboy hat. It's kind of crazy. I feel like a failure in that way if I'm going to start, not to become Stephen A. Smith or anything, but I kind of feel like I need a cowboy hat, y'all. Start wearing a lot more plaid, a lot more jeans. Okay, y'all, I got about 1 minute before the show comes back. I keep saying it, but I really do hope y'all are enjoying this more behind-the-scenes view on the Facebook Live. Something I'd maybe like to do a lot more. We've done a lot of shows at a lot of locations, but most of the time no one else wants to be on camera. But obviously I'm comfortable enough on camera. So this fall I'll be on the mic a lot, doing high school games and college games, baseball, softball, football, all of it. So keep looking on the Gospel Station. So keep staying tuned for that. If you like hearing my voice for whatever reason, I'll be doing those. So it'll be a lot of fun though. I'm really looking forward to it. All right, we're about back. And we are back for segment 3 of the game plan. We are now more than halfway done with our show, but unfortunately my batteries on my technology are more than halfway dead. So we're going to try to make it to the end of this, but it's going to be close. It's going to be close. Now, for this segment 3, again, Luke Young at La Huasteca in OKC, Connor Malley calling in from Dallas. We're going to talk a little bit more about that Thunder championship run, Connor. And I would like to ask you about your thoughts on the parade as a whole and what you thought that experience was like, because watching it on the TV, I think my favorite part was that the guys got off the bus, that they went and high-fived fans, and they did autographs and pictures and let them touch the trophy, which I couldn't believe at first.
Right. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Seeing, the videos of it, yeah, I thought that was so cool that they walked around and really engaged with the fans. Yeah, I thought that was really, really special. The speeches in the stadium were pretty funny. Really enjoyed just watching some of those back. And yeah, it just looked like it was a great, great time, great moment, huge, huge deal for Oklahoma City. And yeah, it looks great. And I hope that I can make it to the parade next year once we go back to back.
You know what? If we go back to back, I'll try to make it out too, and maybe I'll see you there. We'll link up for that one. Have a big celebration.
Sounds good to me.
Now, about this parade, so the people that were down there obviously thought really highly of it. There were like reports that people would say immaculate to describe the way that parade went. But I've already seen some people compare it to championship parades of the past, and it's obvious that OKC is a small market, but in a way I think it doesn't need to be those other, cities, the ones that are so massive. To me, it still feels like this is truly bringing a city together just for the love of basketball, for the love of the players.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. All the comparison, I mean, like, of course, Boston has a higher population. Like, of course, more people are going to show up for that one. But yeah, I just think that it looked really special, and it looked like there was a lot of people there, good representation from the city, and just one big celebration for our first title. So yeah, I completely agree.
Right, and that's what it's all about, especially for a first title. Like, first one in history for this program is such a big deal. And
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and I'm actually going to try, once it gets a little closer, to get a ticket to be able to go to game 1 of next year whenever they hand up, do the ring ceremony and lift that banner.
Okay.
I'm going to try to be there.
dude, I hope you get a ticket so much. I know you'll love to be there.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I know they're going to be expensive, but I think it might be a time to splurge and get a ticket, so we'll see.
I just have to make another deal with the missus.
Exactly.
So the last thing I wanted to say about the parade before we shift over a little bit again is despite the it's always a short, path right through the heart of the city, but that parade took forever to nobody's surprise. But it was so slow moving, I think in large part because the players got out and were engaging with the fans. But did you hear about the people that had started passing out because they had been standing out in the heat so long?
I did not hear about that, but I'm not surprised.
It happens every year. I don't know how people don't learn. It's gonna be hot. Drink some water, man.
Right, exactly.
And it's,
Probably just didn't want to have to go get water and lose their spot.
I guess so. Yeah, I was gonna say, and it's not just gonna be hot because Shay's got his shirt off. Okay, drink some water. It's warm out there. But I don't know. I think being that closely packed, and even though it is a shorter route, having to take so long, that'll always speak to the dedication of a city. As parades are not supposed to go quick by any means, but most of the time when you saw, let's see, when the Dodgers won the World Series, I'm pretty sure they all stayed up on their buses. They didn't go down that much.
Right, yeah,
Right.
it was the first time I had seen that. So yeah, super special, but I expect nothing less out of that team. So
No. And I mean, it really was fun and made for a good parade. And yeah, you're right. The speeches at the stadium might have been the best part. If we're looking back, those are gonna have those rewatchability.
oh yeah, I was laughing hard at Chess. Chess was really funny.
I've seen a lot of edits floating around on TikTok and some of those already. People really love the Aaron Wiggins one.
Yeah, that was iconic.
All right. So we're about halfway through segment 3 now. Now, one thing I want to ask you, since we've already talked a little bit about the NBA and whether or not it's all staged, do you think it was purely a business decision for that game to go to Game 7? Because I don't know if you've seen it. I'm going to try and find the numbers real quick. But Game 7 of this series had really, really high viewer counts. Again, I'm going to try to find it. I don't know if I'll see it in time, but I'm pretty sure it set a recent record for most amount.
It was 18.7 average, and its peak was 19.3.
Yeah. And again, between two small market teams, what they say. But the question is, because you know how bad the Thunder played in Game 6,
Oh yeah.
was this going to Game 7 as a business decision, not as a athletic decision?
You know, I lean towards no, just because historically the Thunder have always been pretty bad in Game 6. Game 6s have never been our friends, to be honest with you, for as long as I can remember. You even look at, back when the Warriors, whatever, I think Clay hit, 11 or 14 threes against us in
Yeah.
Game 6. Game 6, we played awful. We played awful against Game 6 of the Denver series to send it to Game 7. So, I don't know, having that big a lead, going on the road, the other team's desperate. I want to say no. I want to say we literally just got outplayed in Game 6, especially with how bad we got beat. But that's kind of the way I lean.
Okay. That's a pretty grounded take, I would say. So, I respect that. Oh, here you go.
As I said the other day,
Yep.
my take was they got out there, they got that slightly ahead, and then they caught up, and they blew past them. And I think at that point, the guys made a business decision, said, it's just not our night, we're going to shut this down and go to Game 7.
Yeah, I know, which is so risky. I was so nervous going to Game 7. Like, even though it's at home and all that, you're still nervous because anything can happen in a Game 7. So I was like, I wish that they would have just closed it out. But it worked out the way it worked out. So, and one thing I hate was Halliburton was questionable. He was questionable for Game 6. They were saying that his calves was bothering him, and then the way he played, I was watching, I was like, he does not look hurt at all. But then you obviously see what happened in Game 7, which is crushing, by the way. You hate to see that for him.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so then that kind of was like, oh well, no, he actually probably was dealing with that. But yeah, interesting anyways.
He played well in Game 6, but he still had limited minutes comparatively. I think you're right. I think Mike's right too. It's just once it got that big a lead, why risk it, especially with Halliburton on the Pacer side.
Yeah, exactly right. So, yeah, who knows what would happen. The way he was shooting the ball before he got hurt in Game 7, who knows what would happen if he would have stayed healthy.
See, that's a good transition into my next question for you. A lot of the non-Thunder fans, I won't say Pacers fans, but I will say non-Thunder fans, want to give this an asterisk like we maybe gave the 2017 Astros for their World Series win. And I just wanted to know if you had any particularly strong thoughts on people who would bring up that conversation topic.
Yeah, I know I'm biased, but I would say no asterisk. I would say no asterisk.
I can't believe it, folks. This is mind-blowing.
But yeah, I think that it was fair and square one title. I think that the path we took was difficult. I think we played well, and I think we were the best team this year. So that's my take on it.
No, I agree with you too. I've said it on a past show. Mike knows. But as much as you have to be a good basketball team, you also have to be a healthy basketball team when it comes to the playoffs. And usually, generally, the healthier you are, the more likely you're going to win it all. And that was just the Thunder this year.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, so go ahead, Mike.
And my take is that if you put an asterisk on this one, then you have to put an asterisk on the Portland and the Seattle Sonics of the 70s as well, because that was another time where it came off of two great dynasties. You had the Bostons of the 60s and early 70s, and then you had Kareem's, I think 2 and 3 years in Milwaukee, and then you have one with the Lakers, and then it went, it's like 7 years in a row. If you realize last time it was like this at the end of the 70s, Portland won in 77, Sonics won in 79, and then Magic and Bird arrived, and it was Lakers Celtics for the entire 1980s. So it's Phillies were winning there for 1 year. So if you're putting asterisks on it, you got to put asterisks on those 70s teams and that Philly team in the 80s. I don't see anybody doing that.
Yeah, I agree with you there because there's no reason to put an asterisk on any of these, except for Houston. We can put an asterisk on Houston.
Yes, because that was proven to be cheating.
Yeah. All right, well,
Yeah, but then you can make the argument that then they proved it by winning it just a few years later.
you can make the argument.
Anyway, yeah, I know.
That proved they didn't need to cheat. They would have won anyway.
Yeah,
right, well, everybody, I know Connor's got to go here soon, so we're going to wrap up segment 3. Connor, it's been great having you on, my friend. We got to talk more. It's always a joy.
Likewise, yeah. Thank you for having me on. Luke, you were always somebody that I respected. Worked really hard. Did all the right things, and I was always somebody that was rooting for you. So
I appreciate that.
you're definitely a great dude, and yeah, hope that we can have another conversation here soon.
Yes, sir. I'll get you back on the show sometime.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, brother.
Yep.
All right, and for everybody still listening, before we head to a break, I'm actually going to head back to the studio, so we might get a little bit longer of an ad break between this segment and segment 4. But I'm at La Huasteca down at 1621 North MacArthur Boulevard in Oklahoma City. You can call them at 405-541-9009. They've got a wide selection of products here on the shelves, and you can also buy yourself some delicious, authentic, freshly made Mexican food. Look for their coupon in America's Neighborhood Values, 20% off all day Tuesday, something you're going to want to take advantage of. So let's send it to a break, and I'll head it back up to the studio. So again, I apologize if it's a little bit longer, but we've actually got a whole nother 45 minutes to an hour. That's right, the show isn't over yet. Stick around, folks. We got another guest coming your way.
Your home and your car are more than just things. They're where your memories and they
Thank you.
deserve the
That was fun.
protection.
All right. Thank you to everybody tuned in on Facebook. We're going to head back. So catch the second half of the show back at the studio. Thank you.